ABC Disney and starring in a lot of country music videos on CMT and GAC. Rodeo is her first love, and second stage is her home for the National Finals Rodeo. Without any further ado, help me welcome Alexis Bloomer.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexis Bloomer, and this is 60 Minutes with Alexis Bloomer. I want to apologize in advance for the noise. They're about to fix it, but I like to give a big shout out to the people who have helped me get here. So thanks to Las Vegas Events, because without them this wouldn't be possible. And also thanks to my mom and dad, because y'all are awesome too. I don't know if you can hear me very well, but this guy that I'm about to talk about is amazing. He has an extensive resume that reaches upon anybody else I know, probably personally. He moved to New York when he started in A Soldier's Play alongside Denzel Washington and Samuel L. Jackson. He is known from his reoccurring roles in NYPD Blue, The X-Files, The Practice, Philly, Beverly Hills 90210, Roseanne, and West Wing. For his role in Grey's Anatomy, he received a Screen Actors Guild Award for the Best Ensemble. He formed the James Pickens Jr. Foundation, whose mission is to enhance the lives of families in underserved communities. Please help me welcome Jim Pickens. My goodness.
Hi, how are you?
It's loud, isn't it?
Hey, how are you? Good.
I feel like we're at a concert behind stage. So, for someone that doesn't know you, Jim, how would you describe yourself?
I guess a family man first, an actor second, and a fan of the Western lifestyle. Yeah.
Those are great answers. It makes me happy you said Western lifestyle.
Yeah.
You're talking to me about your family back there, and I know you're very proud of them and stuff like that. And your daughter, you actually just said, is in New York.
Yeah, I have a 24-year-old daughter who's in New York right now pursuing an acting career. And matter of fact, she just called me this morning to let me know she's got a second call back on a film, so she was very excited. I'm very proud of her, yeah.
That is exciting.
Yeah, and then my son is back in California working and trying to be in the music business, you know, and that's tough, rapping and stuff, so he's doing well.
That's a difficult occupation to break into anyways, music.
I'm sorry?
That's a difficult occupation to break into.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. Mm-hmm.
You told me that you've been coming out here for 16 years straight to Vegas.
Yeah, it's been about 16 consecutive years. I started coming, I believe, either 96 or 97. I started coming out, and I'm just a huge fan, and it's one of the best parties around. And 10 days of nothing but Cowboys. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Especially when they take over Vegas.
Oh yeah, especially in Vegas.
Complete opposites in like culture and stuff like that to come to Vegas for these guys.
Yeah.
So if you were, say you had to switch professions with someone in the rodeo industry, who would you switch with for a day?
In the rodeo industry?
Yeah.
Fred Whitfield, probably.
Fred?
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Fred's a cool guy, and I've got to know him a little bit, and I've just been a big fan of his and what he's contributed to rodeo, and he's a classy dude.
And he's also coming out with his new book, too.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the title is Gold Buckles Don't Lie, which is kind of funny. It fits Fred, very appropriate.
I bet, yeah, for sure.
So as far as the rodeo and stuff, what's your favorite part of the whole rodeo? What's your favorite event?
I think even more than the competition events is just to see how the camaraderie, folks who live the Western lifestyle, they have a bond that's really interesting, and I was attracted to that. And what you see is what you get, nothing complicated, and just kind of honest, hard-working people, and I like that.
They're just athletes too. I mean, they're
all incredible athletes, and it's a really it's the only profession I know where these guys let it all out on the line, and with no guarantee of a paycheck at the end of it. But they love to do it,
Every time they're back in the box or getting the shoes, a gamble, or whether or not they're going to take the money home to the family. So
absolutely,
it is unlike every other sport.
It's tougher than acting, I'm telling you. Yeah.
And you also do some roping yourself, so you know this from experience.
Oh yeah, I became interested in team roping about 15 years or so ago, and I'd ridden before, and I used to team pen a little bit.
Yeah.
But I wanted something that was a little more of an adrenaline rush for me.
Yeah.
And I was on a movie, and one of the transpo guys was a team roper.
Really?
And he kept a roping dummy in the cab of his truck.
Huh?
And when he didn't have anything to do, he would rope it, you know. And I was looking at it, and I was like, "Wow, can I try that?" And he said, "Sure." And I kind of had a knack for it.
Yep.
He said, when you go back to California, you should try and get some lessons, get you a good horse. And so I did. And it's been a love-hate relationship with team roping. For me, the biggest issue is always finding time to practice. My schedule prohibits the time I can practice, and you know, you only get out of it what you put into it. So I've been getting out of it what I've been putting into it for the last 15 years. So far the steers are winning, but every once in a while I get the upper hand.
Do you ever think you'll get any of your co-hosts or your co-actors or co-friends or anything like that to be able to rope?
I doubt it very seriously. Patrick Dempsey's a big race car buff, so
yeah.
His whole thing is, you know, driving race cars, and he co-owns a race team. They do pretty good. I think they drive Mazdas or something.
Wow.
But no, I think I'm the only cowboy in the cast.
Well, that's good though. We need cowboys in the industry.
Absolutely. There's a few of us out here. I mean, the actor Kiefer Sutherland was a really good team roper for a while. He roped with he's on he's part of Super Looper magazine. John English.
Yeah.
Kiefer roped with John English for a while. Brad Johnson, the actor, was a really good cowboy. He now lives in New Mexico. Wilford Brimley, the old character actor, he was a stunt guy.
Really?
Cowboy. Yeah, a lot of those great guys. A lot of those guys have a cowboy background.
It's two extremes there, being a cowboy and an actor. So.
Yeah, about as extreme as you can get. Yeah, that's for sure.
And if they ever hired you for a Western film, you wouldn't even have to act.
I did one Western. It was a short-lived TV series back about 10, 12 years ago. And I didn't get a chance to ride in that one.
Yeah.
And then I did a Western comedy.
Yeah.
Where I played a blacksmith, so I didn't ride in that one either. So I did two Westerns. I didn't get to ride in any one of them. So
you get to show your skills.
I know, right?
So I know that you rope and you do all that stuff, but also you have a foundation that I think is pretty interesting, the James Pickens Jr. Foundation.
Yeah.
Every year you do that.
Yeah, my wife and I, we started a nonprofit about 5 years ago to help some charities that we hadn't been involved in. And we want to do something more than just write a check.
Yeah.
And so I talked with a couple of guys that I've roped with and who have had some experience in putting on ropings, and said, you know, I wanted to kind of utilize the relationships I've made here over the past few years coming to the NFR. And the guys couldn't have been more generous in their stepping up and helping me. Yeah. And so about 3 years ago, we started the James Pickens Jr. Foundation charity roping.
Yeah.
And it's been great. We've raised to this point about $35,000 for our charities.
Wow.
I give away saddles and buckles. We've had 30, 35 of the top cowboys, top ropers in the world have come through, and 3 past world champions who've come through and stuff. So I couldn't have asked for a more positive response from them, and they enjoy it. They understand it's for a good cause, and they're willing to come through and help, and it means a lot to my wife and I.
That's amazing that you do that and put all the time and effort into doing that when you have so much else going on in your schedule. So I really respect that. That's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So why did you choose to benefit underserved communities? That's what your passion.
Well, yeah, it's always been a passion of mine. Kids and the underserved segment of our society.
Yeah.
And a good friend of mine started a cowboy camp for kids about 19 years ago called Camp Giddy Up. And he's a dear friend of mine, fellow actor. I've been knowing him for years. He and his wife started this camp. And it's an opportunity for kids to come from the inner cities and youth at risk and to experience the cowboy lifestyle for a few days.
Wow.
And he has a ranch outside of Los Angeles. And they come for 3 or 4 days. He puts them up. They have trailers and stuff. And they ride, they hike. He's got a big pond that he constructed. He can go swim and fish, and it gives them a time to come and be a part of something that they've only maybe heard about or seen on the television. You know, a lot of those kids haven't been north of Wilshire Boulevard in some cases. Yeah. And so to get out there and be outside and experience something that's different and fresh and clean, and a lot of them, it's had a lasting effect on their lives.
So it's a different end of the industry. You're pushing them into the Western lifestyle too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Anything to help them out.
Yeah.
So when you started this, did you think it'd be as big as it is now?
No, you know, it's one of those things that it has to have a kind of a life of its own after a while.
Yeah.
The biggest part of it is preparation. The roping end of it is easy.
Yeah.
But the preparation, getting your caterers and getting logistics all straight and stuff it's probably the biggest, and it's not a concern, it's just something that you have to do. So each year it gets bigger and bigger, and you have to enlist the help and volunteers of more people, which is a good thing. And so I can't say any of it's difficult, it's just trying to connect the dots, you know, and make it come to fruition so on the day things run smoothly. The easiest part has been getting the sponsors to come along. We've got Wrangler's been aboard, we've got Wrangler aboard, we've got National Roper Supply. Your dad has been kind enough to help us out with Bloomer Trailers and Equibrand and just everybody just come over and say, hey, what do you need? So it's been really great on that end. So it's just about when the Cowboys come and rope, we want to make it as nice as we can for them. We want to make it Cowboy friendly, treat them like they should be treated. We cater great meals, and the prizes are super incredible. And so it's when they leave, it's a destination they want to keep coming back to year in after year in. Yeah.
It sounds like it's a great program for everybody, and it works out for both ends, for you and for the Cowboys.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Can anyone enter it, or do you have to be a pro Cowboy? Well,
I wanted to have a venue for open ropers.
Yeah.
So that's why we made it for an open rope. It's a 5-steer for open ropers, and we wedged it between two big rodeos out in Southern California, the Clovis Rodeo and Lakeside.
Yeah.
And it gives the guys a chance to make some money in between those two rodeos. And when they make that West Coast swing, Red Bluff, and then they work their way down south. And so we did it like that, but we instituted this year a Pro-Am. So it's a 5+ Pro-Am, and amateurs get to pick a pro, and National Roper Supply donated a saddle for us. Our amateur winner won over $2,000. You can't sneeze in that for a Pro-Am. We had about 55 teams. The turnout was really tremendous. And so we plan on continuing doing that, yeah.
So each year it's just going to get better and better, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when is it this year for people that want to come out to it?
2013 it's going to be April 23rd.
April 23rd.
April 23rd in what they call Lebec, California, about an hour north of Los Angeles. At the Tejon Ranch. The Tejon Ranch is probably the most famous working ranch in Southern California. Yeah. It's the largest at about 270,000 acres. And it's just a beautiful place to hold a rope, and they have hunting tours. I mean, there's wild boar and elk up in there, and there's trails for folks who just want to ride. It's just absolutely beautiful. There's a working ranch as well, working cattle ranch as well. So, and they've been gracious enough over the last 3 years to lend us their facility for the rope, and it's been great.
Wow, that sounds like it's a great program. It sounds like something anybody would be interested in.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
See, you play the role of a dad and then a husband.
Yeah.
You play the role of now a cowboy in the Western lifestyle, but we haven't talked about your acting career at all. So you've been in 26 movies and 56.
Wow, I didn't know it was that many.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Wow.
I was looking you up a while ago. I was like, holy smokes, you have an extensive resume. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've been pretty blessed, and you know, I started out, I was a Broadway actor and on the stage in New York, and I never intended on doing this. I have an art degree. I wanted to be a cartoonist originally, and stumbled into the acting thing, and it kind of took over everything.
Well, I'm glad you did.
I'm glad I did too.
Yeah, that's crazy how you came about it. But as far as all the roles you played, I know you've played a lot, but what role has stood out to you the most?
Well, obviously, I guess the role I'm most known for right now is Dr. Richard Weber on ABC's Grey's Anatomy. We're now entering our 9th season, and obviously that role kind of really changed my life. I had been around 25, almost 30 years before that doing stuff, but that one probably more than any. But for me personally, it was probably playing the role of the slain civil rights leader Medgar Evers in a film called Ghosts of Mississippi with Whoopi Goldberg and Alex Baldwin, and I was really proud of that because the historic significance of the film and of that man and what he sacrificed and to kind of change the culture. And I think that one, well, but all of them had some significance for me. I was fortunate enough to be a part of a Pulitzer Prize winning play along with myself. There was Denzel Washington and Samuel L. Jackson. We were on Broadway together, and we've remained friends since then. And I can't really think of any role I didn't have a fondness for.
Yeah, that'd be hard to pick one too, because you've been in so many. So
yeah, I've had a good time.
So as far as people on the show with you, who's been the most memorable person that stood out to you?
Say it again now.
Who's been the most memorable person you've acted with so far?
The most memorable person I acted with?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, there've been so many. Maybe Cliff Robertson, who just passed away last year. If folks don't know, he played Kennedy in PT 109, but he had a tremendous career. I got a chance to work with him, Rip Torn. I worked with Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. I can go on and on. I've been pretty fortunate to work with some true celebrities.
You said you keep mentioning Samuel L. Jackson, Denzel Washington, and I think they're awesome. Are they really as tough as they seem?
Nah, they're cool guys. Our kids are all around the same age. We literally we were married within kind of 3 years of one another and stuff. We all came out to Los Angeles roughly around the same time, and we remained friends for now about 30 years. Yeah, and they're good guys. And as a matter of fact, Sam and I are trying to get together and produce something, a Western. So we're hoping we can get something going, and we've got some folks interested now. So we'll see what happens.
Well, that'd be outstanding. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've done all this stuff. You're busy all the time. What's been the hardest part of your job so far?
Finding time to rope.
Finding time to rope.
Finding time to rope. That's been the hardest part. I mean, it's a great gig. This is our 9th season. That's rare for a television show. Yeah. Especially an hour-long drama.
Yeah.
And it's a real godsend when you can have a gig now, a job now, the way the climate is. A lot of films are now shooting outside of LA. Yeah. So the films they're making now are more formula oriented. They want to make sure that they have an audience right there, that there's some kind of marketing attached to it. Yeah. So to get on a television show for that long, it's been a cool gig. The hours can be long. I have my hours usually average about 13, 14, 15-hour days. Wow. It can make for a long week. And I'd say. So usually if I do have some time off, I either want to rest or try and go ride my horses or something like that. So I can't say there's really been a hard part of it. No, not really. And you won a Screen Actors Guild Award for your role in Grey's Anatomy. Is that correct? Yes, I did. When was that? I'm sorry? When did you win that? We won that back in 2006. We won the Screen Actors Guild Award. We've also won the TV Land Award, the Golden Globe for Best Television Drama. We've won several Emmys. It's been cool. The show has become an icon. It's become a part of our culture now. Kind of changed the way Hollywood looked at how they cast television, and to be more diverse, and be more colorblind. And you can only credit Shonda Rhimes, our creator, with that. And so to be a part of that has been really very cool.
I watched a segment on Grey's Anatomy, actually, on the behind the scenes, and y'all's director or whatever, when she had this idea for the show. Everybody said she's crazy. They're like, why do you want to cast them? You know, because there's so many different cultures and so many different people.
Absolutely.
And that's something I think a lot of people respect about the show, is that it's diverse.
Yeah, and Shonda meant for it to be that way, and I can only applaud her for that. Yeah, she was just honored as one of the 100 top women power brokers in Hollywood by Hollywood Reporter. Yeah, so it was pretty cool for her.
It must be fun to work with her then too.
Yeah, she's great. Really one of the smartest women I've ever met. Really bright, very humble. I'm quite sure the success of the show caught her off guard as it did everybody. But she's now, she's got 3 shows on air, and she's probably one of the most prolific producers and writers in Hollywood right now, as far as television is concerned.
It's an easy show to like, that's for sure.
Thank you.
I never watched it. My best friend's like, you have to watch it. She made me sit there and watch it for 4 hours in her room. She has every season. It's crazy. I'm like, I don't know why you're so obsessed. I mean, like, yeah, it's a good show, but she is y'all's biggest fan for sure.
Oh, that's great. That's always good to know. Always good to hear.
When you were growing up and stuff, I know you said you wanted to be a cartoonist and stuff like that. But did you have anyone you looked up to in the industry as far as an actor?
Well, I never looked at this career. I could never imagine doing what I'm doing now. Back when I was a kid, I had nobody in my family was involved in the creative arts in any way, and so I was always a fan of television movies. When other folks be out playing and stuff, I'd be in watching movies and TV shows and daydreaming about being a cowboy or something like that. So to come to this juncture of my life and had the kind of recognition and success I've had, it's been a blessing. But I would have never thought at this point in my life I'd be experiencing this right now. No.
You never thought? That's crazy that you never thought when you were little you were going to be this.
Never did. No, not this.
So you just stumbled upon it?
I'm sorry?
You just stumbled upon it. It just happened.
Literally somebody walked up to me. I was a senior in college, and he was a gentleman who was working on his PhD in directing, and he needed to cast somebody in a play that he was directing, and he couldn't find anybody, and he happened to see me in a student union. He didn't know me, and he walked up to me and introduced himself and said, "You look like an actor. Would you like to audition for me?" And that's literally how it happened.
You look like an actor.
Yeah.
That was a smart guy.
Yeah.
Do you still keep in contact
with him? He's pretty smart. Yeah.
You still keep in contact with him?
I lost contact with him. He was a wonderful guy named Ed Hill. The last I heard, he was down in North Carolina somewhere teaching. But he was just an incredible guy, and really, I owe most of this to him, actually.
Really? That's amazing.
Yeah.
That I don't know. I'm dumbfounded. I can't believe that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give someone wanting to go in this career path?
That wanted to pursue acting, you mean? What advice would I give them?
Yeah.
Don't take anybody's advice. No.
Don't take anyone's advice.
You kind of have to travel that path for your own. You have to know that you have to love it above everything else. You have to be willing to sacrifice. You would have to be able to do this for free. That's how much you have to love it. And then if you feel you have that, I'd say go for it. I mean, I've been trying to talk my daughter out of it, but it's not working, so I might as well support her,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Especially growing up in your footsteps, she's got it. She probably loves it.
Yeah, she's very talented. She's a lot more talented than I am. Yeah, she's good.
I think that my dad always says that they always want your daughters and sons to be better than they were, so.
Right, well, she's definitely there. She's a triple threat, so I'm very proud of her.
That's great. I bet she's proud of you to have you as a dad.
I hope so.
I'm sure she is.
Thanks.
So what can we expect from you in the future?
I was able to shoot a film during my hiatus with Harrison Ford about the first black Major League Baseball player, Jackie Robinson. And it's called 42. And so we shot that down in Atlanta. And they want to release it the opening day of baseball season 2013. So I'm really looking forward to that one. It's probably the most definitive film about Jackie's life produced today, and Brian Hagelin directed it, and so I'm very proud to be part of that one. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Sounds like it'd be interesting. For sure.
Yeah.
Did you play Jackie Robinson in it?
No, I'm a little too long in the tooth to play Jackie, but I play somebody who who befriends Jackie while he's in spring training down in Florida. Yeah.
Well, that'll be an awesome film. I'll be looking forward to see that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good film.
I really appreciate you coming out today and doing this for me. I've always looked up to you and I've always admired you, and I know that my dad has too. So
thank you.
It's great that you could come out here today. Sorry about the noise.
Thank you so much. My pleasure being here. Congrats with this. This is very cool doing this.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And then you'll be going to the rodeo and stuff tonight too, won't you?
Oh, absolutely. I'll be there.
Well, it's good we have fans like you in the industry for sure, and I really appreciate everything. Can we give a round of applause?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.